So when I'm doing something for the first time, I may not get it. It does not mean that I get disappointed because of that result. That, oh my God, I studied hard. I put everything. I said, I'm going to put everything. I'm not going to get diverted. I came early up in the morning, 5 o'clock. I took shower. I did my prayers, everything. I came. I sat at my book. I started reading. I'm not getting anything. Now, at that moment, you are not getting anything is a result. Some action has been performed. Some result has come out. Okay. Now, with that result, it only means that the action is not finished. That's why the result is not preempted for us. Bhagavan will not provide a result somewhere in the middle of the work. He will make sure that you go through the entire runway, and then towards the end of the runway, you leap up. So you have to have patience to go to that end of runway. This patience, this control of mind, where somebody do not get diverted and disengaged from the core work that they are doing by balancing the good and the bad experiences that are floating around while performing an action and after performing an action is called samatvam. Whatever may be the result, I will say, you remember those 3 things that we have to do while performing an action? What are those 3 things we discussed? Number 1, I am not doing anything. I am not the doer of any action. I am just a tool in Bhagavan's hands. We talked about this noodles example for Kriti. She is not there today. When her mom makes noodles, she will use different kinds of spoons. Large one, big one, shiny one, wooden one, right? Whatever tool she uses, we are all tools. I am the woody guy. Somebody will be a stainless steel. Somebody will be a brass spoon. But we are all spoons with different capabilities. Bhagavan will use us for the right purpose. And whatever I'm doing right now, it's not I am doing it. It is Bhagavan making me do it. That's the first notion. Second notion while performing an action that we must remember is, what was the second one? Whatever is the result, that is also not mine. Why? Because I am not doing anything. Spoon will not say, oh, this noodles has been prepared now, so let me eat because I own it. Spoon will not say that. Spoon will safely go and sit in the sink and say, please, somebody, if you can wash me, I can get into the work again. This is what spoon will say. We are just the same. So we will go and sit in the sink. We don't accept that noodles that has been done through our efforts and say, this is all mine, and start eating it. Remember, if spoons start doing that, you will stop cooking, isn't it? So that's exactly the second point. Results are not owned by me. They are also offered back to whoever is cooking, whoever is holding my hand, Paramatma. All yours, big boss. It's not mine. Okay? Whatever is the result, whether salt is extra, less, spice is extra, less, I don't care. It's all yours. You take care of it and let me know if more work is to be done. I will jump into it. I'm ready to jump into this action. That's the second thought. Third thought, very, 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 very important. When the spoon performs an operation, it ensures that whatever is the end outcome is going back to the entire family sitting there waiting for the breakfast or the dinner to come out of the dishes, coming onto the plates and being served. Maybe the same spoon will be used for serving also, but then it is not for the spoon, it is for the others. So this third, sacrifice, right? So these three options while performing an action are very, very important, are all integrated. When you integrate all of these together, then the samatvam will occur, where you will not be disturbed by the results. This is called as yoga. Bhagavan says, perform every action in the state of yoga, like this. Okay. And in 50, we talked about as yoga karmasu kaushalam. Second definition. Yoga is the excellence, the dexterity, the excellence hidden inside the action. So if the result has to be perfect, there is no other way. There is no other way. Bhagavan is saying, not me. Bhagavan says, there is no other way. If you want an action to be resulting in a perfect result, the most perfect result, the excellent result, the only way possible is applying yoga. I'll give you a simple example. Mayuka Talli, you chanted today, correct?
Yes, uncle.
Was there a moment at some point in time where you felt a little tensed? Honestly, you have to answer.
Yeah.
Yes, this happens to everyone. Do you know why? Because everybody else was muted, Mayuka was only chanting, and she knew that she is being heard. She knew that whatever I am speaking is going to the ears of all. Which brings back the emotion saying the result. Oh my God, am I doing it right? Even if you do if you take a small extra gulp of saliva into your throat, and if because of that you are not able to chant a particular word properly, go to the next line, this previous line will still haunt you. I did not do that right. This will haunt. And the mood will continue. What will happen in that situation? Tell me. Will that be a perfect chanting? No. But imagine this. Imagine if everybody is chanting and you don't care what the result is. Why? Because it's not your result. It is everyone's result. Whatever outcome comes out, like in a group song, right? Whatever outcome comes out of the mic and goes to the speaker is not your individual. It is a group effort. Do you really mind the group result anytime? Think about it. No. Similarly, why we don't? Because we feel that result is not mine. That result is all ours. So I'm not the only person who is influencing that result. The moment I get that feel, you will get a sense of freedom while performing an action. This sense of freedom while performing an action will always and always and always result in the perfect result. Have you ever seen that if you are drawing something, Krishna, you can tell, you are a musician, you sing the songs. When you sing song, sometimes you get lost into the devotion part, especially when you are singing the devotional music, right? You get lost into the devotional mood. At that point in time, did someone come to you and say, your Shruti is wrong, Krishna? Or will they say that, oh my God, I was mesmerized with your singing? See, this is the effect that you are creating on others will decide the result, right? What kind of result it was. When we go into the mood, extreme mood of devotion, we feel that the audience get inspired. They get attached. Right? But when we get into the mood of like result oriented, okay, every step I will just make sure that it's all going good. And oh, I'm not louder, let me be a little louder. Forgetting about what we are doing it for. We just make sure that every action we try to calibrate and say, this is the result, so I should do this next, right? There will be a fluctuation in the way we are performing. And at that point in time, there are possibilities of making more mistakes. That freedom is lost. That mental freedom is lost. So that's exactly what Bhagavan is saying. Yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Isn't it, Krishna? Did you get these experiences?
Yes. When I'm singing for devotion, that's different. And when I'm singing for like ordinary movie songs or something, then I get tense. Like as you said, like because the focus is on audience. Like, are they liking my song or not?
This is
But
exactly why we get the mic phobia, stage phobia. We get onto the stage, we look at the audience, and then we know we can sing, but we will not sing. We know we can perform, but we will not perform. Why? Because we are focused on the result, how the result will be, rather than giving a thankfulness to Bhagavan and saying, for you, I'm not doing this, you are making me do this. So whatever comes out is all yours, Bhagavan. And then you will see that the end outcome is perfect. So that is 50. Now let's go on to 51. Okay. Who can chant after me? Varsha Vidra, will you chant after me? Are you there?
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay, Tali. You want to bring the book? The next few verses are related to how we should perform the actions and how does it help us. But before Varsha comes, keep this thinking on why Bhagwan is telling this to Arjuna. What were his problems in chapter 1 and why this is being told to Arjuna now? Okay, we will keep thinking about it. I'll ask it once we finish 51 chant. Are you ready, Nana, Varsha? Second chapter, 51st verse.
Okay.
All right. Karmajam buddhi yuktahi. Chipama.
Okay. Can you repeat that, please?
Karmajam
Karmajam
buddhi yuktahi.
buddhi yuktahi.
Karmajam buddhi yuktahi.
Karmajam buddhi yuktahi.
Phalam tyaktva
Phalam tyaktva
manishinaha.
manishinaha.
Phalam tyaktva manishinaha.
Phalam tyaktva manishinaha.
Janma bandha
Janmabandha
vinirmukta.
vinirmukta.
Janma bandha vinirmukta.
Janmabandha vinirmukta.
Padam
Padam
gacchantyanāmayam.
gacchantyanāmayam.
Pranavitali, will you chant the whole lines along with me?
Yes, uncle.
Karmajam buddhi yuktahi phalam tyaktva manishinaha.
Karmajam buddhi yuktahi phalam tyaktva manishinaha.
Janma bandha vinirmuktaha padam gacchantyanāmayam.
Janma bandha vinirmukta padam gacchantyanāmayam.
Amayam, without any problems, happily, without any hassles. Gacchanti, padam gacchanti, right? So there is a secret in this shloka where we can get answers like what is rebirth. A lot of people believe in rebirth, some do not. This verse exactly talks about what rebirth is all about. So here is what I can explain to you about this. Now, karmajam buddhi yuktahi. So Bhagwan is saying, while performing the action, any action, right? Using buddhi yoga. Yuktaha means what? Buddhi yuktaha means the buddhi, the intellect, the machine in us that determines what is correct, what is not, will lose its power completely and will surrender to something supreme than that. What is supreme than the intellect itself? See, my body is making actions. Why I'm making these actions? Because by making these actions, I feel happy. These are the general thoughts I'm talking about. Suppose if I'm praying every day, why? I get mental peace. This is the first answer. How do you know it is mental peace? Who is telling you it is mental peace? Pawan, do it. Some machine inside me should tell that, Pawan, when you are doing this activity, you are feeling a sense of happiness. I can tie these two together. This action and this feeling, I can tie these together. So can you please repeat it again? Because you are nothing but Lord Shri Krishna, who is happiest ever, constantly happier, Satchidananda, consistently happier, infinitely happier. You want to be that. So to be that, I can see that when you do this action, you feel happiness. Can you keep repeating it? Who is telling all this to Pawan? some machine inside Pawan. That machine is called as buddhi. In English, poor translation, but in English we call it as intellect. That tells me that doing an activity is helping me out to be happier. So it will tell Pawan, if you get a bigger car, you will be happy. So I will get a car. I will drive the car. Now every month my EMI will go to the bank, right? That EMI will be little bigger. And at the end of the month, I will feel that I'm not getting enough savings into my account. Why? Because some EMI portion is going off. Now, Pawan will think, oh my God, I have to do something to increase my savings so that I can buy much bigger car. Why? Because intellect says that having a bigger car makes you happy, Pawan, so do it again, right? So what this Pawan will do, oh, next car should be Porsche or maybe Ferrari. Let's me, for doing that, I have to earn this much. So for earning this much, what I should do? Now this is what I'm doing. If you closely observe what I'm doing, I'm actually repeating the process again and again and again and again. Will there be a stop for this process anytime? Do you think there will be a stop? Who thinks there will be a stop if I go on like this? No one of us will think. Why? Because this is not going to stop. Today Ferrari, tomorrow something else, then flying cars. I don't know what will come. This mad. I want to be happy. Everybody wants to be happy. That's why they are doing what they are doing. But what we do not understand is there is a difference between happy and pleasure. Pleasure is temporary. Happiness is permanent. My goal is to reach happiness, but I'm actually satisfying with pleasure. And I'm trying to repeat it. And this buddhi in me is doing the wrong job. Why? The input for buddhi. What is the input for buddhi? Buddhi also needs something to say this is right, this is wrong. What is that something? No? Of course, experience is one. Good. Experience is one. Good. Next. The knowledge. The true knowledge. So, if I read this and if I understand this completely at the feet of my guru, then I will know what is right, what is wrong, the way it has been mentioned in the Vedas. But if I do not go through this experience, then whatever I have is from the worldly affairs. He is saying it is good, she is saying it is good, so it is good. That is the knowledge my intellect will decide. And it will get into the trap. So Bhagavan here is saying, karmajam buddhi yuktahi. When you perform an action, right, with buddhi yukta, as a buddhi yukta. What is buddhi yukta? Buddhi yukta means one whose buddhi is slave, servant to the Supreme Lord. Which means what? Whatever Supreme Lord has told, whatever he has instructed, it goes by those values and virtues and does not take its own decisions. Where will you find that? Of course, we are reading those. Bhagavan said that don't do anything as if you are doing. If we constantly think only that part, we are done. So when we perform an action with that spirit, the results that come, right, will be sacrificed. You cannot keep anything. When we do something as a group activity, you don't keep anything because you are not it's not your thing, it's our thing is what you feel. That's why you leave it. When you know it is not your thing, you leave it. We talk Sheetal's example also. When she doesn't want to eat something, she will assign the ownership to somebody else, maybe her brother, dad, mom, whoever is in the family. So that is not owned by her anymore. Just like that, the result is also sacrificed if our action is performed with the buddhi yoga. Then, for such an individual, janma bandha vinirmuktaha, there is not going to be a rebirth. What is janma bandha? Why we take life after life after life after life? To complete whatever is incomplete. Why do you want to complete? Because by completing, you think that you are getting happiness. By doing my homework, I get a good grade. By getting a good grade, I get good appreciations all over. I get treated like a good student, which makes me feel happy. So let me do it. This is what I'm doing. Right? And so I will read again and again and again, 5 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 10 books a day to get grades. Because I want that result. If I don't get that result, then I'm not happy. If I get that result, and when that result is appreciated by others, it fits into my mind, gives me the feeling of happiness. That's what I love. So I'll keep repeating it. This is one way to think, right? So we get into this trap of doing the same thing again and again. Now, within this life, yes. We talked about Antakarana sometime back, maybe 1 month back, right? There is something called as Chitta. There is something called as Chitta. Chitta is the retention. It is the retention of experiences that we are gaining through our actions. Chitta is the one, it is something like a dictionary. It is like your notebook, diary, personal diary. When we make an action, get the result, how mind treats that result, what intellect thinks about that result is all captured as one experience. That experience goes into my diary called as Chitta. This diary is the Bible for the intellect. As Gautam said, the experiences are the reference point for the intellect. Now, these references should also have something called as Bhagavad Gita reading every day. Then what my intellect will do, my intellect will see the diary and say, those lines and these lines are contradictory. I will follow the lines that are close to Bhagavad Gita. I will disregard those experiences that make me happy. This is called as Chitta Shuddhi. This is called as Chitta Shuddhi, cleaning, wiping it off, making it clean. Now, once all these experiences are gone, what remains is the supreme consciousness about Paramatma, nothing else. That there is God everywhere. He is here. He is out there. He is around me. He is in me. Right? He is in the smallest of things. He is in the largest of things. This consciousness, when it comes into my mind, then at that point in time, there is no stepping back from happiness. And so there is no need to take another birth because I don't have anything unfinished. Everything has been cleaned properly. My Chitta is Shuddha. It's pure. When my Chitta is pure, I don't have any actions to be performed. Now, these desires or the actions that I'm collecting, what is the name given to that? You remember that, Pranavi? All the set of desires that we are bucketing into a bucket, putting all the desires. Huh?
Vasanas.
Very good, vasanas. So all these vasanas that we are building will come to an end. Why? Can somebody explain me how? There is a vasana that I must sing because while singing I get happiness, right? So I become a singer in this life. But while singing, because I'm an advent, I'm reading Bhagavad Gita under the guidance of my guru, I know that I should just perform my action as a singer to share happiness across all others. And that's it. I don't care of anything else. And I'm not doing it, he's doing it. The moment I say that, my experiences will not be written in the diary. Why? Because mind is not having any feeling at all. Mind doesn't feel anything about it. Mind says, oh, you're not feeling happy about it. There is no happiness, there is no sorrow, Pavan, when you sing. So how can I say that this is actually helping you? This is not the one that you are desiring for. And then intellect says, correct, mind. This action that he is performing is not giving him either sorrow or happiness. This is a neutral activity for him. Don't write it in the diary. So what will happen? That line will be removed from my diary called vasanas. Likewise, if I remove life after life, all these lines, what remains back is an empty diary with complete understanding about what God is. This diary is called as Shuddha Chitta. And with that Chitta Shuddhi, there is no other Janma possible or needed going forward. That is called as Janma Bandha Vinirmuktaha. This will happen only when we perform the actions with Buddhi Yoga. Only then the diary will not be written again. Otherwise, there will be one more line added. Okay, go ahead, you do it next time also. Right? We don't want that line to be written. Okay. All right. Let's go to, we have 7 more minutes. Let's try going to the second 52nd. Okay. Anshi Akki, could you repeat after me? Yada te moha kalilam.
Yada te
Mute lo unnaru.
Yada te moha khalilam
Buddhir vyatitarishyati.
buddhivyatitarishyati
Tada gantasi nirvedam.
tada gantasi nirvedam
Shrotavyasya shrutasya cha.
shrotavyasya shrutasya cha
The full line Sally. Yada te moha kalilam buddhir vyatitarishyati.
Yada te moha khalilam buddhivyatitarishyati
Tada gantasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shrutasya cha.
tada gantasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shrutasya cha.
Kalilam means, have you ever seen this swamp where once you put your feet, you cannot come out. It will only take you inside. What do you call that, Gautam? Huh? Quicksand. Quicksand. Telugulo ఏమంటారు? ఊబి నీరు మట్టితో ఉంటుంది చూసావా? ఊబి. Okay. So once you put your leg inside that, in Hindi it is called daldal, right? When you, am I Hindi? So when you put something in your foot inside, there's no way you can come until someone pulls you out. By your own efforts, whatever you do, you will only be sucked in. The more you want to come out, the more you will be sucked in. Moha is like that. Delusion is something like this. What is delusion? Delusion means wrong understanding. What is wrong understanding? Wrong understanding that the intellect gives to the mind, saying, Pavan, when you buy a car, you will be happy. This is a wrong understanding. What it should say, Pavan, you just buy the car. So there is something to move around in this town, help your family with, quick transportation. Don't worry about anything, whether it is good, bad. Don't just ignore it. It is needed, you take it and give it to someone if they don't need it. Donate it off if you don't want it. If you're not able to walk, if you're not able to drive, donate it to somebody. Don't just keep it in your garage like that. Simple. That's how it should say. But if it is saying, Pavan, buy another new car, bigger one, it will make you happy, then it is delusion. That is moha. Why? Because this is kalilam. The moment I get into it, there is no way out. I will be sucked into it. That is moha kalilam. Right? So Bhagavan is saying that yada te moha kalilam buddhir vyati tarishyati. Beyond the intellect, when you rise beyond the intellect, don't even consider intellect as a useful thing. Say intellect, you are a servant to my Lord. Buddhi, you are a servant to my Lord. Lord Shri Krishna, he is watching, he is in control, not you. So better be a good servant to him. Whatever he says, do. Don't take your own decisions. Train your dog like that, not to bark at the neighbor. And one day will come where it will stop barking, start loving. So that's how the buddhi also will operate. First day it will not listen. The more we abhyasena to kaunteya, when you do lot of exercise again and again and again and again, tame it, and then one day will come where buddhi will stop behaving inappropriately. It will say, Lord, whatever you say, I will do. Right? At that point in time, you will be away from moha kalilam. The quicksand of delusion, you will be getting away from that. When you get away from that, and when your intellect rises above the worldly affairs and focuses on supreme, what happens then? Tada gantasi nirvedam. You will not show any differentiation. You will see, for you, everything will be the same. Including this Bhagavad Gita, and your English textbook will also be same. You will not say Bhagavad Gita is a divine book. English textbook is just an English textbook. You will see both Bhagavad Gita, English textbook, comic book, everything, good and bad, everything same. There is no good, there is no bad for you at that point in time. it is very hard to reach to that state. You will be able to identify this if you are seriously doing a meditation. During the meditation, when you get to a state where you lose yourself, where you don't know what's happening around, at that point in time, you will have this ability to say what is good, what is not good. Because you will not see any differentiation. For you, everything is just a thing. You will not even use the word called good. So Bhagavan is saying that stature will come to a person who will keep doing actions in using Buddhi Yoga. A stage will come where this person will not require any identification of good or bad. In fact, Bhagavan is going one step behind. He's saying such a kind of person will not require anything to be known. Shrutasya. What has been heard and what is yet to be heard doesn't matter for this person. Doesn't apply. Because he is not limited by time. He is none other than Bhagavan. Such people, we call it as Mahatmas. Those Mahatmas will not be needed to be taught something, nor they would learn something from their experience. They will not have any experiences at all. They will just perform the actions like a tool and just get away from this place. That's the beauty of such an individual. For such an individual, can that individual cry? Can that individual be excited and bring up and push up the blood pressures? So Bhagavan is saying that is what Bhagavan is. That's why he doesn't get, in spite of seeing all the 100 brothers doing something wrong, he is asking Arjuna to fight. He is not fighting. Because for him, it doesn't matter. Whether it is Arjuna, Duryodhana, good side, bad side, doesn't matter. He provides equally to all. Think about it. If Bhagavan is not giving enough energy for a criminal, how can he commit the crime? So Bhagavan will not say, oh, I will give energy only to Gautam, he's a good boy. I will not give it to Sheetal, she's a bad girl. He will not say that. Right? He will not say. He will give equally. He say, use it as you want. It shows no disparity. That is exactly how a person applying actions will be in life. For him, there is no enemy. For him, there is no friend. For him, the only friend, the only cause is Bhagavan. Everything else remains just a thing. Right? Including himself, he treats himself as just a thing because he is just operating in this world as per his capabilities. Okay? So, it's a very beautiful way of understanding how human life we have complicated in keeping all these different aspects of, I am big, you are small, I have more, you have less, right? But this is how we should be. So let's continue this journey. And the student who is carefully listening, Mr. Arjuna, throughout, is quickly going to ask some questions to Bhagavan. And he is going to introduce a new term called Sthita Prajna, which we will be learning in the upcoming sessions. Okay? And you share your experiences whenever you can on how, if you have tried doing something differently after reading these, is it helping you or not? I'm telling you it should help. If it is not, then we are not doing it in the right way. So we can have a discussion. All right? I am trying my level best. You also try. It's a journey where all of us are together. Okay? Thank you so much for attending. Let's do the closing prayers. Om Sarvesham Swasthir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hare Om. All right. See you all in the next session next week. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of the week. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you.
Bye.
Krishna.
Bye everyone. Bye Anai. Little Krishna. He's going to bye Tanti. We'll catch up again. Okay. Bye now.
Bye.